Today we're talking about the top social media apps in 2020. Let's go! Hey guys, I am really excited for this episode because I've been asked this question a lot as we approach 2020 of what the top social media apps, what are the top platforms that are coming out in 2020 or already out that are picking up steam. And this episode is all about just that. I think you're going to get a lot of value from this episode. Now, before I get started, I am VanderMeer. I build marketing tip videos right here on YouTube, and I'm trying to make better videos every single day. So if you like or dislike this video, hit those buttons and leave me a comment at the end of this video telling me how I can improve. The cool thing about this episode is I'm going to talk about a lot of social media apps that you might have not heard of before. Some of the ones that are just off the radar that if you start to embrace in 2020, you're going to get a lot of that organic traction. You're going to be able to improve your personal brands or your company brands, finding a way to find that attention. Now, if you guys are here waiting for me to say TikTok, don't worry, I will talk about TikTok in this episode. It'll be a little later in the episode. I want to start with some of the other apps that are coming out that are really hot, but the ones you haven't heard of. Number one, Triller. Triller is a social media app that is, again, very video based. All of the ones on the list today are very video based. Now, the thing about Triller that's really cool is if you are into dancing, if you're in the hip hop scene, Triller is really taking off. People like Tyga, people like Post Malone, a lot of the hip hop scene is picking it up. You're seeing a lot of people that do music every single day trying to pump out their content through Triller and getting a lot of traction, getting a lot of followers really quickly. Triller came onto our radar in the middle of 2019 when TikTok started to pick up steam. It is very, very close to TikTok, but a lot of the functionality of Triller isn't as easy as TikTok, which is why it didn't pick up as fast. Secondly, the content on Triller is different than TikTok. It is a little bit further down the road of that hip hop scene. You get a little bit more music videos. This app is built for you to do music videos. Even when you're scrolling through their community page or the For You page, as you would know on TikTok, you can see a lot of dance-inspired and hip-hop inspired videos. Doesn't mean you can't create some of the other ones and create those fun, exciting, organic videos. You're still playing it to a lot of the music that you can find on Spotify when you're creating. My favorite parts about Triller really are the fact that when you're making the videos, you can take a whole bunch of clips and then you can mash them together, and Triller, the app, does that for you. So if you're trying to make a music video, you're trying to create all these cuts. On these other video apps, you have to do each section individually. On Triller, you don't. You can just film 2 or 3 different dance sections and then mash them together and post that out to a video to a really cool tune right away. You can see other things on Triller that are really interesting. It's really built the exact same way as most of those other video apps right now. It's got the home section with community and people that you're following. There's a search section where you can search through comedy, dance. You got fashion, beauty, food, lifestyle, travel. So they're trying to expand outside of that kind of dance atmosphere that's on the app. One of the things about Triller is it's not as clean as some of the other apps. There is a lot of that age-sensitive content that's on Triller. It's a little bit more explicit. It's not as moderated as the apps like TikTok. So if you're trying to build your personal brand, you're looking for alternatives out there, Triller is a great option. Specifically if you are an artist or you're trying to become a musician, Triller will give you a great opportunity to get those viewers on your tracks when you get on there and you start making that content. All right, number 2 is Facecast. You're going to see a trend today. I already said it, but every single one of these apps focuses on video as their primary source of making content, all mostly short form. Now, the cool thing about Facecast, which I want to show you guys here, is of all the apps today, it actually has the most features. It's built in a way where there's a ton of different options, and it's the same thing. You have this home page where you can scroll through live videos. Live videos are a huge component of Facecast so that you can connect with some of the influencers on the app. You have videos, which is again very much the same as Triller, TikTok, all of the ones today. Very much the same in the way it's outlined. Vertical videos that are getting shot that are native to phones. So whenever you're building that content. And one of the things about Facecast that I find really interesting, and this comes back to TikTok, which will be a theme today. TikTok's taking off, but a lot of the trends that are happening on TikTok, I actually see on Facecast before on TikTok. Now, most people now will say all of the viral trends are starting on TikTok, but I do see a lot of really, really good ideas on Facecast. So even if you're trying to make that TikTok or you're trying to get into Instagram Reels when they come out in 2020, Facecast can be a great way to search through and find some interesting content that will give you ideas and inspiration for the content you're going to make. Now, again, it is focused on live. It has videos. It also has a one-on-one feature, which is kind of cool, that some of the apps don't have. Their search section is a little bit more advanced. You can search based on who you're following, what's nearby, what's hot. It can also tell you some trends. In the middle, shooting videos, you can either broadcast, you can do videos, or you can do moments. Moments is kind of like those stories that we get on Instagram, something that TikTok hasn't implemented. Then we have your message section, which goes through basically everything. It's a little easier to navigate than some of the other apps. Then you have your profile. There's a wallet on Facecast Diamonds where you can utilize them to give gifts to your favorite influencers, much the same, and then influencers can turn those diamonds into currency or into specific items. So Facecast is cool. I think Facecast is the full version of what TikTok and Triller and everyone was trying to get to, but I think it has just a little bit too much, which is why it didn't explode as fast. It wasn't simple enough, it was a little too complicated, it didn't offer the value that we see in our last subject today, which will be TikTok. The next app, it's got about 20 million users worldwide right now, and I'm going to talk about Yubo. Yubo is getting a lot of interest because a lot of people are saying it's the Tinder for teens, and it's kind of got that feature, but their motto is make new friends. I don't use this app a lot. I have seen a lot of people starting to talk about it. That's why I'm bringing it up. Essentially, from what we can gather, it's a live streaming app where you can have friends that live stream together, and people can come take a look at that live stream. It also allows you to swipe and find friends within your age group so that you can try to make new friends. Now, it's a combination of a whole bunch of different apps put together, but it is starting to pick up steam. It's one that should be on your radar. If you're looking at a way to try to find, I don't believe there's advertising on it yet, but as that starts to come into play, it does have a younger demographic. If you're selling products to a younger demographic, or if you're looking for an app to get on where you can get towards building that audience for the future, Yubo could be a great app. One of the things on Yubo that we have learned is Yubo now has verified accounts. You can use the app, it says here called Yoti, Y-O-T-I, to create a profile and then get it verified on Yubo. Yoti is used to prove your identity so that you can get it onto Yubo. After you're verified, you're going to get a little yellow checkmark badge on your profile saying that you've proved your identity. If you're getting on the app, that is definitely something we recommend that you try to do. We see a lot of apps take that opportunity away as time goes on. So if you're getting on it early in 2020, make sure that you try to get it verified as quickly as possible. All right, number four. Number four, I'm going to talk about, it isn't a social media app, but it can definitely help your personal brands and your products. I'm going to talk about Cameo. Cameo is an app that's been out for a while. It's starting to get more attention. Cameo allows you to talk to influencers and pay them to give shout-outs to you. Typically, this was started as a way to get your auntie a shout-out from their favorite celebrity on their birthday, or do the same for your mom or your grandma, or whoever is in your life that you wanted to get a shout-out for. Now we're seeing a lot of products and different brands go on Cameo and ask specific people to start not only endorsing products, but have a discussion, give out a really positive message, say something that inspires the audience of the people that are purchasing that. Cameo is something, if you're building a personal brand, if you're looking for people to ask you questions, looking for people to endorse you in any way, looking to send out a positive message to your audience, go on Cameo. There's some great influencers on there, some great celebrities that are going to allow you to take your validation of your profile to the next level. Cameo is one of those secrets, and I think there's going to be a lot of marketers that are going to start to catch on to Cameo this year. I'm interested to see how Cameo evolves as more people start asking for those product reviews. I think that it's built just to provide value to an audience, provide those positive messages and those really feel-good video messages out. Once that product and that influencer status comes to the app, I wonder how Cameo is going to handle it. But for now, there's no real way, if you start ordering these different Cameo influencers to send you that video message, you can, depending on who you're contacting, you can find really good ways to help validate your brand, whatever that is. All right, guys, number five, the one, if you were on this right from the beginning waiting for me to say, is TikTok. Now, is TikTok a brand new app in 2020? No. Is TikTok going to explode in 2020? Absolutely yes. It already exploded in 2019 for good reason. Right now, of all social media platforms, it is the one where most viral content is started. It is the one where you can't stop scrolling the For You page. And for good reason. It provides value. It engages emotion. It allows people to tell stories. And it's really, really exciting to scroll. It has done what the other social media profiles have gotten away from, that some of the feeds have gotten a little spammy. TikTok isn't there yet. There isn't a lot of ads. A lot of the content that's coming out is really catered well to the people that are viewing it. If you watch all cat videos on TikTok, for the next, as long as you have TikTok, you're going to see a ton of cat videos where you get value. The algorithm is doing a really good job of pushing that content that you love to you. For anyone that's trying to start a brand, push out their products, trying to build a personal brand, one video on TikTok can change your life. I am not TikTok famous. I have only felt small bits of it as we posted videos. My most successful video was one that went out where I disappeared into an escalator, and it got just close to 6 million views. Now, that was a small taste of what some people have been doing, where they're creating content every single day that millions of people are seeing. One video can get you millions of views, and right now there's no platform online, none of the ones we talked about, none of the ones that have been out for a while, not Instagram, not Facebook, where you can make content and that one video just explodes. If you get onto TikTok, one thing to look out for is build valuable content for the audience you're looking for. Build content that relates to your niche. And number one, most important, is build content that's organic to TikTok. If you've built content on Instagram before, on Facebook before, wherever you built it, and you try to take that content to TikTok, it doesn't work as well as when you shoot that native content in the vertical camera position, on the whole screen, using content from TikTok, following trends and hashtags on TikTok. Those videos will go out farther than if you're pulling content from other platforms and using your original sound. We learned that the hard way when I got started. It took us a while to create and correct, to start to find the rhythm of what was organic for TikTok. But once you figure that out for yourself and for your niche, it'll make a huge difference to the results you see throughout the year. One other piece of advice that I have for you on TikTok is, once you have that video that goes related to your service niche, related to how you're building your personal brand, double down and start creating fantastic videos right afterwards, building on that niche. Every single person that we've seen get TikTok famous in the last year has found their niche, found that one video that went viral, and they kept producing the same results over and over again, which then upranks all of their content. It keeps it on the For You page. TikTok right now, there's not a lot of people that search through the following section. Most people just scroll the For You page every day, meaning they get new content, and the best content of that day rises to the top. So even if people start to follow you, it doesn't mean they're going to scroll through their following section to see your videos in the future. You have to continually make good content in order to stay on the For You page, stay top of mind with your audience, and keep that ball rolling. Now, if you want to hear more about TikTok, I have a ton of TikTok videos on my profile, so go check some of those out. We will put some links below to some of them. This was a fun episode. I give you guys 5 apps that are going to go really big in 2020. Some of them that are going to pick up more steam. Some might not, some might stay where they're at. But learning the context and scrolling through all of them will give you a really good idea of where social media is going in 2020 and beyond. So go take a look at the apps, download them, get a profile, see what's going on, see what people are thinking is viral, see what content is providing the most value out to the audience, and then apply some of those principles to your brand, to your niche, to your product. It's going to make a difference for your brand in 2020, and that's what we all are looking for. That's all for now, guys, and that's it for this YouTube episode.